Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Much like most weekends, we're going to do some special selections, and just like last weekend, this was a double selection from a single person. So, Schreiger requested Crippled Black Phoenix, Burnt Reynolds, and also Cynic. Previously, he asked for Cynic, the space for this, asked to change it to Evolutionary Sleeper. So, we're going to check out Cynic, Evolutionary Sleeper right here. And then tomorrow, we're going to be looking at Crippled Black Phoenix's Burnt Reynolds. So, I think we've done Cynic before. The name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's get into this and see what's up. Very atmospheric. Yeah, really cool syncopation there. Talk about a release of tension. Yeah, there's a lot of driving momentum in this guitar line right here. And for them to just immediately pull that back and go with that smooth, just like right here, just immediately. Interesting use of electronica there. Falsetto against the growls is interesting.
I'm an evolutionary sleeper. An evolutionary sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah, that drum fill was real nice to introduce this. Yeah, just real interesting. Chill vibe right here. Storytelling in this guitar solo, I'm quite enjoying. Yeah, that's probably the best way they could have ended that too. Just brought back that idea. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting track. Not what I was expecting for some reason. So there is a lot that I really enjoy in that track. But there's a couple of things that really stand out to me. One is just the drum work, 100%. We have that really interesting rhythmic syncopated section at the beginning that's playing underneath the quick guitar part. and it just gives such a funky vibe to that section just because of the rhythmic ideas going on. And then there's just some really solid drum fills during the laid back, smoother, calmer section at the end. Speaking of the two sections, though, that's something that really stands out to me is just the juxtaposition between the first half of the track and the second half of the track. It's just kind of wild to see such a stark difference. The first one is full of energy, drive, momentum. There's just a ton of notes per bar. The guitar work is playing eighth notes primarily. The drums are doing their funky stuff with their eighth and 16th notes. Um, and it's just this really moving, driven section. And then once we hit the halfway mark, and we hit the Evolutionary Sleeper line, and then we do the outro to that. Uh, that last half of the song is lots of whole notes with a very chill guitar solo over it. And it's laid back, it's just relaxing. It has like this distorted beach vibe, which is interesting. Um, and it is just the stark opposite of what came before it. And I'm not really sure how they fit together, but that Evolutionary Sleeper interlude, where I think it's just the vocalist and he says, "I'm an evolutionary sleeper." Yeah, that part, it's this weird reset button. It sort of divides the two and puts a hard wall between them. It is simultaneously not a transition at all and a perfect transition between the two parts. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. Usually I can tell you why a song is a total package. Why, what is the thread that binds all of the different parts of the song? And here I just don't see it. But when I listen, these are definitely still the same song. I don't hear I don't hear that these are two separated songs. And I'm not really sure what is keeping them together. What is the core part of the music, the DNA of the track that sort of binds them? It could very well be something a little hidden under the surface. It could be something simple like a chord progression. They share the same chord progression, which gives them the same auditory DNA in a listener's mind. It could be something a lot more complex than that. I don't know. I could not hear, or I could not zone in, specify the exact part that was really tying both of these very different ideas together and keeping them unified. So that's something that I would listen to on a second listen. Try to figure out why this sounds cohesive when it really shouldn't, as far as I'm concerned. Um, the other interesting thing that I thought that I heard was the vocalist. A lot of it is not what I was expecting for some reason. I don't remember if we've done Cynic or not before, but I was expecting harsh vocals, and instead we got a lot of falsetto. We did get some like black metal growls underneath the cleans leading up to the halfway point, but they were a bit down in the mix, and it was only two sentences, I think, so it wasn't even that entire section. Very easy to miss, and it was more done for textural harmony, textural addition to that section rather than being, a spotlit aspect of the song. So, yeah, just not what I was expecting at all on that front. And it's also interesting just how those falsetto vocals work so well. Um, in the Evolutionary Sleeper line, it kind of works because there's not a lot going on around it. It is more of a sparse, empty, vulnerable part, and the falsetto sound works well with that, but somehow it also works well with the drive and momentum in the first half of the song. And again, it's another aspect I'm not really sure why that works. it doesn't sound disjointed, even though I can't say I would ever expect that hard rock, uh, quick writing to pair well with that sort of vocal delivery. This song is really just a combination of a bunch of ideas that I don't I would never think to combine, and they did so effortlessly, it seems. Um, and the structure is interesting too because it basically follows an ABCB pattern. Um, we have the fast driving section, then the evolutionary sleeper line, and then the chill relax section, and then the evolutionary sleeper line. And I'm curious how it all fits together lyrically, thematically. That could be the missing link I have to tying up this song into a cohesive whole. What do the lyrics tell in their story? What is an evolutionary sleeper? My first thought is, somebody who doesn't evolve with the rest of their kind. They are still a survivor. It isn't like Darwinism has taken them out of the picture, but they didn't. They're still a less. They're the version 2.0 existing among the plethora of version 3.0s. That's my first thought, but I don't know. It's not a great explanation. I don't think I'm not real fond of it, and I don't really see how that fits in with the duality of the atmospheres and the vibes and the sounds in here either. So yeah, if anybody has context to the lyrics, that would be appreciated so that I can kind of tie that into some of the musical ideas and see if I can find a thread that holds it all together. Because, yeah, like I said, right now I'm just not really seeing that. But, overall, I do enjoy sort of how different the beginning and end are. They're two very different vibes, two very different feels, and it shows a lot of depth that this band has to produce both of these very different sounds. And then, of course, their composition skills in combining them into a cohesive whole, even if I can't see what binds them together. So I'm interested in checking out more Cynic. I am. I'm intrigued by this at the very least, and enthralled at best. So, I don't know if this is necessarily a song I would go out of my way to listen to a lot, but it does make me interested in what else they have done, just because I can see a lot of really strong uh, abilities within the band to create interesting music. And at the end of the day, I think that's what's most important to me is music that interests me. I don't yeah, I'm just going to stop there. Music that interests me. I think that's what I enjoy at the end of the day. There's still I still enjoy music that doesn't interest me but is just a good jam. I love jam music, but interesting music I think is the pinnacle of what I like to check out on the channel. Even if it's not something I would listen to as a casual listener, it is sort of what I seek out as a critical listener. But those are my thoughts on Cynic's Evolutionary Sleeper. This is where you guys come in, though. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought. If you have any extra information to add, especially about the lyrics, like I mentioned earlier. And when you're done commenting, above that is the description box. If you're interested in any links adjacent to the channel, such as the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, they help out the channel. Also, like, subscribe, and hitting the bell help out the channel as well with the YouTube algorithm. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC with Melancholy Music Week, which is going to be interesting, I think. I guess bring your tissues starting tomorrow. Until next time, though, remember to be critical and not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.